Hello everyone, today we have a deck that has been navigated in the most recent Ursa Day tournament, which are the biggest tournaments that Pokemon Pocket has weekly right now. Around 2,000 players signed up and registered and joined the first round of this tournament. And this deck has been able to go 9-1. It's still ongoing. They take a break between day 1 and day 2. So I'll follow the top cut tomorrow. But this deck was able to go 9-1. Only one deck in the tournament went 10-0, and I believe it was a Mewtwo deck, so nothing snazzy or really fun there. But this one I thought was really interesting. It is a Celebi EX deck that ends up cutting the Serperior line. And honestly, it makes a lot of sense. Dropping the Serperior, Snivy, Servine line opens up so much room for tech cards or support and item cards, and it makes a really big difference in a lot of matches. So we have room for double Sabrina, double Leaf, double X speed, so we always have a mechanism or a way to retreat cards out for cheap. We have double Potion and double Erica, so our sustain ability is craziness. We have Professor's Research and Pokeball, those are the standards, and then we just have 6 Pokemon. We have 2 Executes, 2 Executor EXs, and 2 Celebi EXs. By dropping the Snivy Serperior line, we're able to really focus fire on one energy onto Execute Executor, if that is what we started with. If we started with Celebi, then on our second attacking turn, we could be dropping 100 damage bombs that just continue to build up as the game progresses. And let's say they do a little bit of chip damage. We have Erica and Potion to heal that back up. We have the Sabrinas to force them into awkward positions. And we are dropping so much damage so quickly. This is a surprise aggro deck. You see grass and you think the slower setup of the Serperior, but this one is going to come out swinging. It's going to be attacking early and often and just do so much damage as a result. And by having the double Executor EX, it helps us a lot in the very common Gyarados matchup, because Gyarados cannot one-shot the Executor EX. Even if it has a Giovanni, it can't one-shot us, so we can do a little bit of chip damage, tank a hit, pivot out into either the other Executor or pivot out into Celebi to finish the job off from there. And so in my testing, I didn't run into a single deck that it felt like I just didn't have a chance against. I ran into a lot of Gyarados, a lot of Mewtwo, and even though they oftentimes got their evolution curve on curve, I was able to either outpace or outpower them fast enough that they just couldn't get their game plan going. They're probably gonna... We're just going to come in, they eventually take out Executor EX, and then we just come in with a massive, powerful Bloom attack, and I think we just win from there. And so Blastoise is one of those cards that I really like the idea of. I like the fact that it is a just big behemoth. If you get it online, it just does massive things. But it's the point of being able to get it online that is the problem. So if you don't hit a lucky Misty, most of the time you're not going to be able to stall out long enough to get the good value that you need so that Blastoise can sweep. We're going to go ahead and take the win. Let's jump over into the next one. We're going second, so we don't get to evolve first. Otherwise, I'd probably go Execute. It's another water deck. We do start with Celebi, but I think we're going to go Execute instead. I know last game I led with the Celebi instead, but something was telling me that this could be a more aggressive water deck, and that we might want to play it accordingly. I'm kind of glad that we did. So they go Professor's Research. No chance that they get a Misty this turn, which is good. No cheesy early damage, which is something that I absolutely detest. Let's go ahead and build onto the Execute. I'm going to go Professor's Research just to see what we draw. Another Executor EX and another Professor's Research. Nice. So let's go ahead and go here. The only way that they knock us out before we can evolve the Execute is if they end up having the Starmie and a Misty, and they hit a heads on it. Is the only way that they potentially knock out our Execute before it evolves. They had the first step of it. but not the second. They don't have another basic either, which is interesting to know. Let's go Celebi. Let's evolve into the Executor. Let's throw down Professor's Research. So we thin through our deck a bit more. And we have them on the ropes for sure. Ooh, plus now we have an Erica plus Potion. Now all we have to do is do a little bit of light damage, decent damage, maybe not even light. Some decent damage with the Executor. And then eventually, if they are able to take out the Executor, we build up the Celebi to come in as that like last second big behemoth. So if they don't have another basic, they are in for a world of hurt. They do get a Pokeball. The Starmie coming online, but getting outsped is crazy. The Eevee, so I'm assuming they have a Vaporeon evolution. They can do the big 90 damage, that's fine. I think we probably go ahead and just heal it up afterwards. And if they do a Sabrina to make us pivot, we just do X speed to pivot right back into Executor and continue the onslaught. They do hit us with the Sabrina, so let's throw the one that does not have energy onto it. The 90 is fine. It's not going to knock us out in one shot. And we have the X speed to be able to pivot back into Executor, and we are good to go. So Leaf, even if we didn't have X speed, we'd be able to retreat out. I like having both so that we always have a either an easy or a cheap retreat method. With the Leafs, we can retreat out Executor for just the one energy, which is going to be on him anyways. And we do end up forcing the retreat. We just put him into too much of a tough spot, having that early aggression with the Executor. Let's go ahead and take it. We'll jump over into the next one. All right, next up we have Mr. Mew Avatar. They're running a Psychic deck, so could be very scary. Let's go Celebi, and we will see what they're playing. Yeah, the Mewtwo deck. They could have the Mew as well. We're going to start building up and being able to attack with Celebi early. Gonna be early enough though. So Mythical Slab, scary. They didn't draw, or they didn't get to draw anything with it. The Ralts coming in. Every time I go against a Mewtwo deck, I expect to see the Gardevoir evolution almost on curve nearly every single game. As unfortunate as that is, we do get to attach the first energy, so we get a free round of damage in on the Mewtwo. Of course, with Celebi, it's going to be very luck-based. It's going to be very much heads or tails. There's the Kirlia. I'm telling you, I think it's been the last... I feel like it's been the last 10 plus Mewtwo decks that I've went up against that they've had Gardevoir on curve, which is crazy. But they do have a lot of tools in their arsenal to help make it happen. Let's go ahead and hope for the best. Beautiful. We pump in 100 damage into the Mewtwo. You'll love to see it. They hate to see it. I fully expect to see the Gardevoir here, but they won't be able to do the side drive attack, thankfully. It'll just be a Psychic Sphere. We can heal up. Ooh, they're going to force us into pivoting, which is kind of riveting if you think about it. Let's go ahead and switch into the alternate Celebi. That way they don't get a cheap, cheeky, easy point. They do have the Gardevoir on curve. And that's without drawing anything from Mythical Slab. That's without a Pokeball Professor's Research thinning their deck at all. Ugh, how unfortunate. I do think we will be able to take out their Mewtwo, which is fantastic. Because we're going to go Leaf, if you believe it. We're going to go Leaf, pivot into our built-up Celebi. We're going to get 3 attacks, and we only need 1 heads. And so let's go ahead and do that. And that could be game, even though they have the Gardevoir, and they had it on curve, one after the other. As long as... Oh, I may have spoke too... Okay. As long as we get 1 heads, we take out their Mewtwo, it's going to be really hard for them to come back, because every single turn that our Celebi stays alive, that power output is just continuing to grow, and that threat continues to put pressure on even a one-turn KO. And so, Gardevoir coming up. Let's see if they find like a Pokeball, another Mewtwo, or if they end up just hoping that they don't get got. They do get they get Gardevoir ramped up, so it's the 60 damage attack. But even with the Giovanni, Sabrina doesn't do anything. Even with the Giovanni, let's go ahead and go Erica onto the big damaged Celebi, just to make sure we're not playing any games with them. Let's go with the 4th energy. Statistically, we shouldn't knock out the Gardevoir here. Had crazier things happen, but not today. I'm thinking okay, just 1 heads. Scary. I mean, next turn we only need 2, and we have 5 to flip. Now they could pivot into a Mewtwo if they find one, but we can always hit them with a Sabrina to make them pivot back out. Ooh, they do get Mew and Leaf. Okay, so they keep the energy onto the Gardevoir. They're able to build up 2 onto the Mew. But it's going to be a bit too little too late. Because this one we would need 3. We're not going to leave it. We're not going to leave it out there. Much better chance that we get 2 out of 5 than 3 out of 5. 20 damage. 3, they could... I think we go ahead and do the potion. Just in case the Gardevoir lives. And just in case they pivot back into Mew, they would have to hit 3 out of 3. I guess 3 out of 4 to be able to make it happen. But nonetheless, couldn't make them switch their Mew, put the Gardevoir back in the front line. And we need 2 heads here. I almost forgot to attach energy. We need 2 out of 5. And so we should be able to make this happen. But crazier things have happened. One. Oh, no. All right. Well, it was fun. It was real. It was not real fun. Oof. If we come back and lose this one, I am going to be so sad. So distraught. You know, it is what it is. They get another Leaf. Do you believe it? Because I don't. Let's see. They get 4, and they have to hit 3 of the 4. And unless we draw another Sabrina, we can't force the Gardevoir back into the front line. I guess that's our payback for hitting the 2 for 2 against the Mewtwo earlier. Good. Okay. Oof. The 2 back-to-back scared me, but we live thanks to the potion and thanks to Erica, of course. And there is the Sabrina top deck. Now, if we hit 0 out of 6, it's what it's going to take. We just need 1 to bring this one home. If we hit 6 tails in a row, I'm ending the video here. I don't care how many wins we've gotten. It's just over. All right, so we go ahead and put them out of their misery. There's 3 out of the 6. So we hit exact odds. We'll go ahead and take it. Let's go ahead and jump over into the next one. We are going first, and this is the best thing we could ask for. I mean, we are going against fire, which is not great, but the part that I'm excited about. Ooh, wait a minute. They get... Oh no. I don't believe it. The fire, they can attach 1 fire energy and then use it to knock out the execute. So what we're going to have to do is not what we want to do. I'm going to go X speed. Pull the execute in. Because they're going to be able to attach the first energy. They have typing advantage. They can knock out execute turn 1. I would rather take the damage onto the Celebi, and then we pivot back in using the Leaf. and build up the Executor EX. But them attaching that fire energy, they could do a Sabrina, which would be super unfortunate as well. But no, they're just going to do regular Ember. Interesting. Well, that's game. Oh, well, okay, it's not guaranteed to be game, but it could be game. Let's go with the Leaf. You believe me when I say we're hoping for a heads. Build up onto the Executor. We had to protect the little guy. And we may be faster than what they can set up or are able to deal with. That is game. We will knock out the Charmander before he even gets online. Let's jump over into the next one. All right, we are going first here against a water deck. I mean, the only starting move that we have is the Celebi, so let's go ahead and put it out. Oof, the Staryu could be scary. We're going to have the first energy attachment. Not the first evolution, but they could get Starmie EX online very, very fast here. Let's go ahead and intern. We're going to hope for the best. Losing that first coin flip is kind of rough. Going first instead of second. Professor's Research is big for them. They could easily have a Misty. They could easily go with a Starmie EX evolution, which the max that can do is 90 damage. I'm tempted to build up onto this backline, Celebi. We're going to build onto the backline Celebi. We have Leaf to be able to pivot out of that frontline one. The front one is going to end up being our tank. As unfortunate as that is. Do have the Starmie EX evolution. I wouldn't expect anything less, honestly. So even outside of Giovanni range, which is good. Misty, but it's already fully built up. So why waste a Misty there? Unless you have a Vaporeon? Would be like my only guess, I guess. All right, poor Celebi has been through it. The game just started and already on the brink of death. Let's bring in the Execute. We don't have an Executor at this point, but it's fine. Let's go Leaf. We're gonna Leaf Celebi in the dust. The back line to rot. Let's bring in this front line one. We can do up to 100 damage. Odds are we do about 50. Hopefully we do at least 50. That would put us within range of maybe being able to kill it next turn. 50? Oh, we will take the 100, even better. And so now we are definitely pressuring that Starmie EX. If they put one other basic, we have the Sabrina to make them pivot it back in so that we get the just like the versatile damage dealer dealt with. Let's see. They could also, I don't know if they're running like the Articuno, if they're running like a Magikarp Gyarados. Whoa. Their draw must have been awful. Not that I'm complaining, but my goodness. Just in case, just in case we get bad coin flip and we get 0 out of 3. I've had it happen before. I'm going to heal up the Celebi to the point where a Starmie EX attack would not finish him off, because that would be the worst. And that's just for coverage, just in case. And we do get the 1, 2. I thought we were going to go for the repeat, but we'll take 2 out of 3. We finish off the Starmie. Then jump over into the next one. Next up, we have Scizors against a Psychic deck. And so on this one, we have the unfortunateness, which I'm assuming it's Mewtwo Ralts. Double Ralts, interesting. On this one, I'm assuming that it's the Mewtwo. They're going to have the Gardevoir on curve. And so, honestly, whenever we're building and brewing and thinking of a deck, we need to be able to deal with a 3-turn Gardevoir. If we can't do that, the deck is not going to survive. The deck is not going to make it. So they get to attach the first energy. We get to do the first evolution, but we don't have an Execute. We don't have Executor. So we don't make any use of that, unfortunately. But they have the double Ralts, they have the Mewtwo. They do have a mythical slab. Hopefully that mythical slab draws them nothing. Whoa, and a professor's research. So able to draw a lot of their resources, and that's why I typically expect Gardevoir on curve more often than not. Executor EX would be fantastic here had we had an Execute. Would have been awfully cute to use, but for now, let's go ahead and go with the Celebi, and then we'll end our turn. Let's see, if they hit us with a red card, also kind of unfortunate. So X speed, wow, they're going to go ahead and attack with the Mewtwo this turn. Fortunate. As long as they don't evolve one of the Ralts into Kirlia, we can survive another blow without doing an Erica. But I kind of don't want to. I kind of want to go ahead and use the Erica, just one, to get it out of our hand in case they hit us with a red card. And then two, to make sure that we're fully healed up, primarily just in case they hit us with a red card. All right. One, can we go 2 for 2 again? Beautiful. Let's go, Celebi. Celebi is dropping bombs for me today. If you guys made it this far, you saw the first Mewtwo matchup, which we had the move order advantage, so we attached the first energy, but they had the evolution of curve. This one, they have the energy curve, but it doesn't look like they've been able to find their evolution lines. So the backup Mewtwo, they go ahead and attach onto the backup Mewtwo, assuming that this one will eventually die. I'd love to see it. Let's go with a Pokeball. Get the Execute. Do we use potions here? I think maybe. I'm going to go ahead and do it. Again, on the off chance that they draw a red card and that they're running one. Most of the time, it's not worth it to run red card, but Mewtwo is one of the decks that typically does. In case they hit us, I want a better chance of drawing into Sabrina, drawing back into Executor, drawing back into those better cards. So we need 1 heads here. We are sacrificing to the coin gods. Beautiful. There's 1. It's okay if the others are tails. We get 2. Mewtwo is gone. He's dealt with. We are in 2 attack range for this Mewtwo, unless they get the Kirlia and then also have the Gardevoir lineup as well. And we are able to push it into one-shot territory, which is also really good. If we get incredibly lucky with our coin flips, we need 3 heads to be able to knock him out in 1 turn. And we have the Sabrina, so we only need 2 to knock out a backline Ralts, which is also very beautiful. Ooh, a backup Mewtwo. Sabrina is all of a sudden looking a little bit less ideal. And they didn't evolve, so we will survive this upcoming turn. I think we just add on and throw it. Because then if they do attack, they don't kill the Celebi, but they're forced to decide on either pressuring with an attack or pivoting out. And so I think we're just going to go ahead and not use the Sabrina. We're not going to do anything cheeky because we would still have to hit 3 out of 4 to win on this turn. So if we're going to hit that, we can knock out the EX Mewtwo. Ooh, that's a tails and a triple heads. I forgot we had 4. I don't know what I did to appease the coin flip gods, but I am going to soak it up while I have the good luck. We will take the Mewtwo win. Let's go ahead and jump over into the next one. All right, we are going first again. Not our ideal lineup unless we have Execute and Executor in hand. Otherwise, I would rather get the first energy attachment because that gives us a lot of pressure onto the opponent. They're going first. It looks like we're going up against a grass deck as well. Whoa. Hitting us with the Mew. The Mew tech. I did see one Celebi version that ran, I think it was 1 Celebi, 1 Mew, and then the double Executor EX versions. But it didn't seem like that was, I don't know. I didn't get as good of a feeling from it. Execute would be great here because we have a follow-up Professor's Research next turn. And so we could still potentially salvage the turn 1 evolution into dropping bombs, egg bombs, but bombs nonetheless on the first attacking turn that we have. So they go Pokeball. I wonder if they've cut the Serperior line as well. Because what I've been noticing in the tournaments and the tournament gameplay is that Serperior, when it pops off, it pops off. But it's a lot slower. So if you start with Snivy, it's not great. If you start with your Celebi, but you're wanting to have the Snivy evolution, sometimes you're not able to build it fast enough. This allows us to really focus on, you know, our highlights. All right, let's go with a Professor's Research. We're hoping for the Executor EX. Beautiful. We get Sabrina, so we can also cause them to be able to pivot into one of their backline eggs if we want to next turn. Let's hit them with an X speed. And I like the combination. I may have said it earlier in the video. I really like the combination of both having double X speed and double leaf. The game's just starting. What? What? All right, well, let's go ahead and jump over into one more. All right, we are going first against a fire deck. And so, very scary. We don't have Executor. Ooh, so it's maybe a dual type deck? Interesting. So we don't have to worry as much about the Druddigon now. We do get Celebi. And do we find the other Execute or the other Celebi? The other Execute, that's fine. Go ahead and throw them both. Just in case there's a rogue red card. I want them on the board. Next turn, I'm going to start building onto probably the Celebi. Unless we draw into like a Professor's Research, or if we draw into Executor EX. I'm curious what else they're running with this Druddigon. Because most of the time, Druddigon is just a tankless, bodiless frontliner. Double Sabrina, not exactly what we're looking for. Since we don't have Executor EX, let's build up the Celebi. We have the X speed to shift over into Celebi next turn. We could try to go for a 2 out of 2. And unless... Ooh, they do get a water energy. Ooh, rough. So we're probably going to hit them with a Sabrina so that they can't easily attack us with the Dragon Claw. I guess they could have Leaf, and I believe that would do it for them. We also just drew Executor EX. I think we're going to keep him up in the front line. So 90, 110. We would survive. And that's where all of their energy's going. Because I'm tempted to do the Sabrina, but honestly, dealing with and getting that 3 turns of energy into the graveyard, I think is more beneficial to us than saving on some damage. Oof. Whiffing on the head flip there means we have to hit heads next turn, or else we aren't able to kill the Druddigon. What else do they have in their deck besides Druddigon, though? I've never seen a successful deck, like incredibly successful, that does run the dual typing. Do they have double potion? If not, then that was a waste. Gotta do 2. Into the Sabrina, interesting. Do we let them knock out the Execute? Do we... yeah. Do we throw into the Celebi and then pivot out? I'm gonna go ahead and do that. The reasoning is, with Execute being 1 token and then both of the remaining Pokemon being EX, doesn't matter. If we lose him, and then one of the other ones, at that point, it still is what it is. And so then we would still be in a really tough spot. Let's go with the X speed. Retreat out. Into the Executor, back into the Executor. We have Sabrina, we have Erica to heal the Celebi, but I'm going to go Professor's Research to look for I guess Celebi, a backup Celebi is fine. I was really looking for the Executor EX so that we have that kind of tank in the off chance that we need it. But for now, let's go build up onto the Celebi. I'm going to hold the potion, and we are hoping for a heads here. Heads, and then they're pretty much dead in the water at that point. Beautiful. And so the 3 turns that they've been building up Drudagon for, one decent attacking turn, but we may be waiting a minute. I think it's like 45 seconds, honestly. So Hoshi came back. Oh, it's a Pidgey deck. So they're looking for either Pidgey EX or regular, not Pidgey. Pidgeot EX or regular Pidgeot. So nothing else that we really need to worry about. Actually, I was going to do Erica to heal the Celebi. I'm going to do a Sabrina. We're going to try to take out that Pidgey before it evolves into anything worthwhile. Then in the meantime, let's go ahead and continue building up our Celebi EX so that he can pivot in, or it can pivot in as needed as just a late game powerhouse sweeper. We do not knock out the Pidgey, unfortunately, but we do some decent chip damage. And so if they evolve it now, it's weakened. We loosened it. We loosened the lid on the jar. So X speed. I wonder if they have another backup. Another backup Pokemon. If not, we're going to throw our second Sabrina. And probably force them to retreat at that point. I feel a little bit bad. Let's build the Celebi. That way, if we ever, for some reason, do need it, he's just going to come in, or it's going to come in and just destroy. We have the Sabrina to force them back into the Pidgey or Pidgeotto, and it's not going to live to tell the tale, unfortunately. It survived last time. Doesn't matter what we flip here, because it's going to die regardless. Now we'll have 5 energy built up onto Celebi. We're honestly looking for like Leaf to be able to retreat out the Executor for just the 1 energy cost. But we could also just leave him in the front line. Stall. If he dies, he dies. If not, then we win the game. I think that's what we're probably going to do. Let's go Professor's Research, see what we hit. Continue building up this behemoth in the back line. I guess we could get Leaf, but we also have X speed, so we can X speed, attach onto Executor, pivot out, and potentially finish off the game here. Go ahead and see. We are going to take some chip damage on Celebi, but they don't have any points, so even if we had to attack twice, it's fine. Oh my goodness, that is a 1 out of 4. I guess we could have used like a potion, but I don't think they're going to be able to knock out the Celebi. Yeesh. And if they are, they just die on that follow-up turn. All right, Pokeball, looking for that final Pidgey. Final Pidgey can do the flap damage and take out that Grudge Executor. Take out all of the anger. That's if they have a Leaf or an X speed. They have it. No, they don't have it. All right. That should do it in. What? Just in case, we're gonna hit them with an Erica. We have so much heals, it's ridiculous. We have the Erica, the potion. We have another potion, another Erica. It's just, we have a big HP. If they can't one-shot us, then our ability to like climb back is crazy. We don't hit a 1 out of 5. Okay. We hit the 3 out of 5 that time. So we will knock out the Drudagon. We will go and sweep the opponent. We will take the win. And that is actually where I'm going to go ahead and end this video. I went 8 out of 9 games. Thank you guys, as always, for being here. This has been TLSG. Later, guys.